You all know that I'm a brand designer and brand strategist, and I talk about branding all the time on this channel, but I was looking through my videos the other day and I realized it's been a long time since I just talked about what a brand is. So today we're not going to talk about anything fancy. We're just going to talk about what's a brand. All right, roll the intro. This is about the combination of creativity and business. This isn't an aesthetic decision, this is a business decision. Alrighty everybody, I am excited to jump in to a video talking about branding. If you are confused about the topic of branding, this is the video for you. Now I do have a video about marketing versus branding. You can find it on YouTube or I'll link it right there. And I'm not going to really talk about that today, but I will touch on this one point. Marketing is a reach strategy and we all understand that. We understand that we pay money to get in front of customers. But branding is an attraction strategy where we pay money, we invest money to help customers better be attracted to us as a company. I always like to say marketing is asking somebody out on a date. Branding is why they say yes or no. So the first thing I want to just get out of the way is if you think you understand what branding is and you just think about branding in terms of logo and color palette, maybe some fonts, you've got it all wrong. Branding is not a logo design. Branding is so much deeper than that, and the logo is just one small piece of this thing we call branding. So let me back up and just talk about history for a second here. Today we use the term branding to talk about, this thing companies do. But when we look at what branding actually was in its original terms, it was actually the process of putting a mark onto an animal. That's right, people would brand their cattle, right? And they would literally burn an insignia, a mark of some sort, into the flesh of this cow. And that process made the cow uniquely identifiable in an otherwise crowded pasture. So we've got all these cows out there, right? But as the owner of the cow, we needed to be able to figure out which cow was ours. We needed to be able to identify it quickly. So we branded our cattle. So what is branding? Well, it's the process of making your company unique in the market space. Listen, anybody can follow your marketing strategy. Anybody can follow your PR strategy. They could take those things and they could completely duplicate them. Anybody could duplicate your product or your service. They could do things the exact same way you do them, but nobody can duplicate your branding. Your branding is the one and only thing in your entire business that can be totally unique. That means your brand is the unique differentiator. Just like we used to burn that into a cow, right? It's the unique thing embedded into your company, embedded into your culture, embedded into your process, embedded into your experience that makes your company identifiable in the otherwise crowded pastures. So if we start to think about it this way, we start to think about branding a little bit bigger than just a logo, a little bit broader than just a color palette. We have a lot of areas where we can make differentiating moves to be unique. What branding really is about the experience that people have. If I were to ask your customer, hey, what does this business mean to you? Whatever they said, whatever that feeling was that they get, whether good or bad, that is your brand in that customer's mind. Your brand is completely and totally based on people's perceptions of you. So when we look at branding, what we're really doing is we're saying, hey, how do we control people's perceptions so that we are unique and different than everybody else, and it's more attractive to work with us because we're unique than it is to go with the rest of the herd. So now that we realize this, we can start to think about all of the areas, right, where we could brand ourselves to provide a better customer experience. We can differentiate ourselves with values. We can differentiate ourselves with the mission of our business, the reason we do what we do. We can differentiate our business by personality, our color palette, our design style, our tone of voice, our messaging. Nobody walks like us. Nobody talks like us. Nobody has the same experience that we do. So you want to do business with us because it's a better experience than anybody else. Because we think about branding in this way, we realize that branding is everywhere. Branding is in everything we do, right? For example, I'm a YouTuber, right? And I have this brand on YouTube, but the brand is not so much the logo, but it's every little piece of that experience. From the way things are lit to the way I present, everything about this experience is part of my brand, and you're experiencing it right now, and that contributes to the way you perceive me. So as a brand designer and a brand strategist, I don't just try to look at logos or colors or design work. I'm trying to help businesses create all of those experiences to uniquely differentiate themselves from everybody else. So maybe that's tone of voice, maybe that's copy and messaging, maybe it is design, maybe the logo is something that needs to be rearranged to try to create that consistent personality. But the best brands, they know who they are. They know what their unique differentiating attributes are, and they play to those attributes. They keep those things consistent everywhere you go and every time you experience them. If I were to survey 1,000 people that all have experienced Apple, right? We've all purchased Apple products, seen their commercials on TV, maybe visited the Apple store. What would we say about Apple? Innovative, modern, secure, easy to use, high quality. Those are attributes that Apple wants everybody to feel about them. So they're highly intentional, yes with their logos, yes with their colors, but also with every other experience to make sure that those attributes are highlighted above and beyond everything else. They're not just interested in brand assets, they're interested in building experiences. I want to showcase a little example here. So here I have my iPad, right? Has anybody ever purchased an iPad or an iPhone or maybe a different Apple product? This is an experience. Simply purchasing this piece is a part of their brand experience. Obviously, we know they have a really cool, sleek website, but when they ship you this box, right, it comes shrink wrapped. It's white, and it's got the reflective foil on the side of the packaging. And then printed on the front is this beautiful cover where it really showcases the style of the product. Remember, they could have left this black, or they could have used the reverse side, the silver side with the Apple logo, but they didn't. Why? Because they wanted to show how beautiful this product actually looks. And my favorite part, right, is when you open this up, it just slowly slides out of the packaging. And you lift that lid off, boom, there it is. In all of its beauty, the product you've been waiting for. This right here, this is an experience. Just in the packaging. They could have shipped this product like this. In a brown cardboard box, right? And, there it is. And guess what? It would have worked exactly the same. So that wouldn't have changed the way the product worked, but it does change the experience. And that's a piece of the branding puzzle. So hopefully you can start to see what I'm talking about here, right? Apple chose to ship their product differently because they want the experience of buying that product to be unique. They don't want it in a brown cardboard box like everything else because they want you to have a higher perceived value of that transaction because it's unique. It's a better experience. This is what branding is all about. Branding is about building that personality, building that experience that's consistent and unique, that creates more value in the customer's minds. They think it's worth more because it's better. So my challenge to you is to start thinking about branding beyond just a logo design. Start thinking about branding as this experience, this holistic personality for a business entity. And then think about every time we interact with a customer, how is that experience? Is it good? Is it bad? Is it consistent with everything we want to become? If you found this video on branding really super helpful, please like, comment, and share this content so that more people can learn about what branding is and how they can better brand their businesses and themselves. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.